Hello, good morning, Debs. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about, how do we pronounce this word? Veganuary? Veganuary.
Veganuary.
Veganuary. So I guess the first thing I wanted to discuss is, what is Veganuary?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I'm Deborah. I am vegan. I've been vegan for almost 4 years, four years in January, although I did not start through Veganuary, but I will tell you about that. Yeah, so Veganuary, that is, as we know, everyone comes up with their New Year's resolutions to start, a new diet, to start a new activity, exercise, stop smoking, something in January. And so Veganuary is a charity that supports people and challenges people to kind of try to go plant-based for the month of January. So it's a challenge, like a New Year's resolution, and it's just 1 month. January got 31 days. Yeah, it does. So a full 31 days. So that's essentially what they're about. And they're a charity that supports people to transition or to try a plant-based diet. They've got lots of resources on their websites. They've got loads of delicious recipes, like quick and easy and cheap recipes as well. They put on resources like where you can go and eat as well. So in January, well, as we know, veganism and plant-based diets are becoming more and more popular, with more and more people taking it up. And I actually saw a statistic the other day that said 1 in 5 UK Christmas dinners will be plant-based this year, which is massive, absolutely massive. 20% of the population, which is fantastic. And so the availability of plant-based food has been ever increasing in supermarkets, becoming more available and becoming cheaper as well, because there was this connotation that vegan food or plant-based food was very expensive beforehand. But now with increasing demand means that prices have become comparable. I'm talking about like the plant-based meats kind of thing, as opposed to, your standard rice, legumes, lentils, chickpeas, all of those kind of things. And so restaurants are now offering plant-based options on their menus as well, and that again has increased massively. I remember when I first went vegan or plant-based, it was I was lucky if there was one option, and you were trying to put together like side plates,
Side dishes,
have some chips, a bit of a salad, and water, or a drink, and that would be my lunch or dinner. But yeah, now it's becoming rare to find places that don't really, restaurants that don't offer a plant-based option. So now my issue is choosing between them.
between the dishes.
Yeah.
And what would you say the health benefits are of eating a plant-based diet for you?
Yeah, well, massive, loads, and I can talk about well, my personal experience, as well as, what kind of the research out there says as well. So when I went vegan, it was the final year of my PhD, and it was the most stressful year of my life, almost. It was very, very stressful. And I made that decision to go plant-based, vegan, during that time. And I didn't have time to cook up any fancy foods or anything. It was literally shove anything in the oven for 15, 20 minutes and just eat that. So it wasn't particularly healthy. But the immediate impact I felt, bear in mind it was like vegan junk food, or, like quick and easy things in the oven. The impact I felt immediately was amazing. I had more energy. Bear in mind I was sat at my desk for like 16 hours almost of a day, writing this beast. For months on end, I had more energy, I had more clarity. I had, my mental health was better, which was ironic because it was the most stressful period of my life. I was, I just had more energy. And then things like afterwards, when I finished that and I started exercising again, exercise has always been a big thing for me, but during that period of time, I did not exercise. But when I came to exercising, I was suddenly able to start off at a higher point. So I do strength training, or I used to do a lot of strength training. And obviously after months of not strength training, my levels went down, but I was able to pick up from a level higher up than normally I would when I'd have a big gap in exercising. And my recovery was so much faster as well. And my muscle growth, I just you know, after years of eating meat, I could compare how my body was responding now being vegan or plant-based versus when I was a meat eater. I was just so super amazed, and things like my nails grew stronger, my skin cleared up as well. You know, omitting all the dairy, and you know, there's the misconception that dairy is good for calcium and it helps, you know, the disc causes strong bones and things like that, when actually the research shows it's the opposite. There's more cases of osteoporosis
Right.
because there's something that leaches the calcium rather than aids it in cow's milk or in dairy. So things like that, it was just absolutely fantastic. And you know, for me, that was a secondary thing. You know, I didn't do it for being healthy, but you know, now I can't not. I'm just amazed. And then when I started eating, you know, healthier, more conscious choices in my food, it was just so impactful, how it impacted on me. So we know that things like red meat are a level 1 carcinogen, so that means they are linked with actually causing cancer. And then other meats like white meats and chicken are like level 2s and level 3s, which means that there are some links, but it's not a direct cause of cancer and things like that. So I'm just so happy in that as well, thinking like long term, to my long-term health further down the line, when some of these more these issues will become more apparent as we inevitably age and grow older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually in my research I have, so I've just, you know, just out of interest and knowledge really, I've just wanted to find out more and discuss more. My main thing is energy. So as you know, I'm a busy mum and I've got 2 jobs and I'm running around, and generally I've usually reverted to coffee and chocolate to keep me fueled and powered throughout the day. So just having a look at different options and what we're actually consuming, rather than just grabbing something for the, you know, and going without even thinking about it. This year in particular, I found that I've been more conscious about what I'm eating, especially because we've had the time. We've had the time to, you know, to use up everything in the cupboards rather than constantly be going to the shop for the quick stuff. And becoming a little bit more imaginative about the recipes that we are creating. And as a family, actually, I did not find that non-meat days or you know, vegan days, for example, at home, the kids didn't really notice. It wasn't, and that's always been my main concern, that the kids won't eat, or that the kids will be fussy about things. But no, they were okay, and they've enjoyed. We've also tried vegan chicken, or vegan nuggets, and they had no idea. They had absolutely no idea. I could taste the difference, but not so much because there wasn't meat in it, or there was meat in it, or, you know, it wasn't that difference. It was more the seasoning of the nugget that I could taste the difference in. But they, no, I didn't have anything left on those plates. And the other thing I wanted to ask about your transition. So you explained that you were very busy at that time and quite stressed, and you opted for the quick and easy things just to eat. But was that transition difficult? Or was it just a very easy transition to do? I mean, I know that now it's easier to buy products it's readily available. It's not as difficult as it was before. Even the last year or so, I've noticed that there's more things in the aisles. But was the transition for you difficult at all?
It wasn't. It was a bit tricky at the beginning. It wasn't. It was tricky because there was not so much available, and at the time, and where there were things available, so I'd have to go like to Holland and Barrett, for example, to find some like meat equivalents, plant-based meats, for example. Or I'd have to do like an online shop at Ocado, because my Tesco didn't do anything at all, or my local Sainsbury's didn't do anything at all. So it was trying to it was tricky in that, trying to place things here and there. And also at the time there was hardly anything available, like I was saying about, you know, making a meal out of side dishes. So that was the main thing at the time. But then once I got some stock in, and obviously you made mistakes. I made mistakes at the beginning. Sometimes, you know, I realized something had milk powder, because milk powder is lurking in everything apparently. So it was just, you know, not being hard on myself and going, okay, I'm doing the best I can, and just grabbing the way I transitioned is to just try to emulate my previous meals as much as possible, but vegan versions, rather than, you know, trying to find these, you know, super difficult, complicated recipes that would be
Yeah,
the
trying
opposite
new
of
things
health.
every day.
Yeah, you know, sticking with the familiar as much as possible, so that then once I was in a space where maybe I did have time to experiment with a recipe, then I could. I love cooking. I enjoy cooking so much. I always did. But then since being vegan, I realized that I really enjoyed it even more. And I was really thinking of that. And I think for me, it was a conscious level of the ingredients, and unconscious level, you know, what the ingredients meant when I was cooking. Um, so I enjoyed it even more since going plant-based vegan. Um, so yeah, so that would be my recommendation. I mean, people are different and have different lifestyles and things like that. But for those who are like really busy and running around, you know, you don't want this to be a huge extra thing that you want to have to think about. You want
Yeah.
it to be as smooth as possible. So my thing is, you know, let's not make life complicated. If you can do like straight swaps, then that's
I
what
think
I
that
would
should
do.
be. I think that should be my motto. Let's not make life complicated, because it already is
It
so
already
much.
is. Yeah.
And for like, what would you say to somebody, or even yourself 4 years ago, about um, about your choices in terms of becoming vegan and having a plant-based diet? What would be like the three top tips that you would give?
Mm. One is yeah, go for the easy life. Go for the easy life, and yeah, you know, when you try your hardest, sometimes you make mistakes, and that's okay. You know, pick yourself up and just continue. Because I'd be really hard on myself if I made a mistake. But it happens. It's difficult in this world to never make a mistake anyway, regardless of the topic. Um, and the other thing is, and I know this is common with people that have gone vegan or plant-based, is I really wish I would have done it sooner. My only regret, and there's like memes and everything, my only regret is that I didn't do it sooner. You know, I used to be super resistant, big meat eater. So was my husband. He went vegan 4 weeks after me for his own choices. Um, he and yeah, and he agrees with this. Our only regret is not doing it sooner. We were both super resistant. You know, we always made the jokes, you know, oh, but we're carnivores or our canines and all of
Yeah.
those things. You know, vegans just eat grass. Oh my God. So, whereas now I have a much more varied diet because I'm looking at options. I'm looking at what else is available. I use so many more ingredients than I used to. I used to like maybe stick with the same 2 or 3 animals before, but now it's just like poof, amazing, the variety of food and you know, richness in nutrients and things like that. So that's the other thing I would say to myself: do it sooner if you can.
Wow, that's really great actually to hear. And do you think that if I was to commit to ve, ve that word again, Veganuary, if I was to commit to it, I would instantly within the 31 days see some kind of improvement. I mean, we eat a very varied diet at home, and we have lots of pulses, and we have, so I don't think it would be too difficult in terms of checking ingredients and things like that. Um, do you think I would see the benefits
I think
in
so.
that short space of time?
I think so. I mean, it sounds like it wouldn't be too much of a huge thing to transition over to Veganuary. I love the word now. um, I would imagine that you would start to feel the benefits of being plant-based during that time. Absolutely. Yeah, and I'd be very interested to hear how you find it, and obviously support you in anything as well when you're going through Veganuary.
Fab. Well, you sent me some lovely recipes, and some of my other vegan friends who will also be doing a recording for me have sent me some lovely family friendly was the key family friendly recipes, which actually I'm looking forward to trying also as an alternative, because like you say, it does become pretty samey, and that's, you know, my husband's Portuguese, I'm South American, so we have like a big varied dishes in, you know, culture and stuff, and we do tend to stick to like spaghetti bolognese and you know, the easy things that I know, that the easy wins. So if we had alternatives that were also easy wins, maybe maybe everyone would enjoy the food at home. So I will check back in and let you know how it goes. Because ultimately for me it is about boosting energy, and feeling better, I think, because this year has just been really sluggish, and before this year I've also started to feel, you know, just very low in energy. So a big energy boost is what I'm looking for. So hopefully January is the month.
That's excellent. I'm
And
really
then
looking forward to
who
hearing
knows how it continues from there. Well, thank you
that.
so much, Debs, for joining me, and always for educating me and informing me. You're like a fountain of knowledge, so it's great to have those conversations with you. And I know that generally I'll message you or I'll grab you. It's like, what does this mean and what's this all about? So, and it's really
Definitely.
helpful. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Wow, thank you for this. I've really enjoyed it.
All right, no worries. I'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye.